How's it going, everybody? Oliver here, and I want to talk to you today about Gunnar eyewear. And more specifically, I want to talk to you about the lenses that they put into their frames. Now, I don't know if you have a set of these or if you're thinking about getting a set, but I want to talk to you today about a little investigating that I did into what makes these glasses so good to look through. And I think you're going to find it quite interesting. So keep on watching this video. So what is it exactly about these lenses that makes our eyes feel so good when we look through them? And also at the end of the day, why are our eyes less tired, less fatigued, and we just feel like they're more fresh, right? I want to tell you a little bit about the lenses as far as the coatings and the tint that it has on here, but I want to jump right into the good stuff. And in order to do so, I need to tell you a little bit about what I do. So I'm an optician, and what I do on a regular basis is that I help patients fill their prescriptions for glasses. So I want to focus a lot on the measurement that is necessary for us to take. And this measurement is called the pupillary distance. And this is essentially the distance between the two eyes, right? And we measure that in millimeters, right? So the average adult has a pupillary distance of about 60 to 62 millimeters. So why is that important? It's because whenever we make a set of prescription lenses, a prescription lens has what's called an optical center, or essentially the most accurate part of the lens. Because if you've ever seen a set of prescription lenses, depending on if that person is nearsighted or farsighted, they could either have thickness in the center or the thickness is going to be out to the edge. There is a most accurate part of the lens. Though that whole lens could have a prescription, there is a portion of it that is the most accurate. And we need to put that part of the lens in front of the patient's pupil when they're wearing that frame. So that's why the pupillary distance is so important for us to take whenever we're making a set of prescription glasses. Now, what does that have to do with the Gunnar lenses? Well, I actually ended up letting a couple of my coworkers try these on. So I wear prescription eyeglasses. These are non-prescription Gunnar lenses, or so they're supposed to be. And so I let a couple of my coworkers try them on. And they really enjoyed the lenses, the color, the way it make their eyes feel when they're looking at a computer screen or a mobile device. And I even had one of my coworkers try it out for a couple of hours, and she gave me her feedback. And she really enjoyed it. But one of the things that I noticed from more than one of the people that tried them on is that they felt like there was a little bit of magnification. Now, my first reaction was to say that since these people don't have prescription, is that they're probably just noticing the curvature of the lens, or just simply having a lens in front of them in general. But when I got the glasses back, I was interested. I wanted to know if in fact these were non-prescription, if they didn't have anything that was going to be influencing the way a person would see when they looked through them. So I took it over to a lensometer. This machine is used to measure not just the accuracy of a prescription, but it could also tell me where the optical center is on a set of prescription lenses. Yeah, I was expecting this to come out at 0. That's what it's supposed to be. That's how it's marketed, just at a non-prescription set of Gunnar frames. And I was actually quite surprised that when I put it on the lensometer, I actually found that each lens has a plus 0.25 magnification, or a quarter diopter of power in each lens. And not only that, I actually found when I measured the optical center that the pupillary distance of the glasses is 50 millimeters. So that's actually quite narrow, right? Now this frame isn't very wide. That's why I couldn't wear it myself because I have a big head. But what I noticed is that with the 50 millimeter pupillary distance on the glasses, it was actually causing a big influence on the way that you would see through them, because the average person that's going to be wearing these glasses is not going to have a 50 millimeter pupillary distance. They're going to be closer to 60 to 62. Now let's say it's a 60 millimeter pupillary distance that somebody has when they're wearing these glasses. That's about a 10 millimeter difference, 5 millimeters per eye. So what's happening is that the eye is going to be drawn towards the optical center, or the most accurate part of the lens. And since they put it in a narrow position, which is normal, our eyes do converge when we're looking at something like a book, our cell phone, a tablet, and a computer monitor, depending how far away you have it from you. Devices such as tablets, cell phones, or a book or our watch, those tend to be at about 15 inches away. So our eyes tend to spend a lot of time converged. They tend to spend a lot of time coming together in a position that is causing the muscles to work a little bit more than they would if you're just looking at something in the distance. So what they did with the Gunnar lenses, and they don't put this on their website, I'm assuming that this is just something that they don't want to mention because it has a little bit of prescription. Maybe this is what they meant when they had a patented design or a lens technology. I don't know. They don't really go to any specifics. And when you get the packaging and when you read the paperwork that they have inside, all they really focus on is the warranty and like their address, or if you wanted to, talk to their customer service center. So what I found interesting is that it has a little bit of essentially prism. That's what it's doing. It's causing your eyes to stay focused and stay converged, and they feel more relaxed because the lens in itself, in a way, is forcing the eye to stay in that position. And you would think that it would feel bad, but really because your eyes want to do that anyways, because chances are that when you're wearing these glasses, you're looking at something that's no farther than about, let's say, 24 inches. And for those people that use it when they're gaming, right, and if the TV is farther off, well, then the lens tint is actually what's doing most of the work because of the contrast that you're going to be getting out of it. So this is something that I just felt was necessary to share. Some people care about the specific reason why it is that they feel like their eyes are more refreshed and more relaxed when they're looking through it. Well, that's what I think it is. Now, I've only tried it on one set of glasses. I have a few more coming, and I'm going to have a follow-up video. So here we are. These are the Gunnar lenses, or the Gunnar frames that I ordered for myself. I just got them in today. And I can confirm that each lens has a 1/4 diopter of magnification in them. When I first put them on, I'm wearing contacts. When I first put them on, I could tell right away. It had a little bit of magnification. It's very slight. I don't think it's going to bother anybody, but definitely something that I think that Gunnar should be mentioning when they're marketing their product. Now, it might be a little bit hard for people to understand the purpose of the magnification. Maybe that's why they don't do it, but either way. So you could also see that the anti-glare coating that it has on there is like this, almost like a mirror coating, to be quite honest. It should have a lot less reflections than that, but maybe they chose this one because they thought it looked cooler. Also, I'm thinking they're trying to bounce off a little bit more blue light, so that's why it has a little bit of that bluish color to it. But either way, they've been comfortable, I will say that. I'm going to continue to wear them the rest of my workday. And I'll check when I've spent a couple of hours looking at the computer screen, but they've actually been pretty comfortable, I gotta say. I'm not saying that it's something that's bad or something that you should avoid. It's just a very small amount of magnification, and I don't think it's going to really bother anyone. I'm sure that they know that they're doing it. It's way too accurate. It's exactly plus 0.25. The lensometer that I used can actually be very, very specific, and it kept on coming out at exactly plus 0.25. Now, that's just part of the reason why it's going to be helpful to use when you're staring at a computer screen for hours at a time. The other thing is, of course, in this case, the amber tint. It does help with the contrast. The anti-glare plays a huge part. It's diffusing the reflections on the surface of the lens. Some people, when they start to notice where those reflections are when they don't have the anti-glare, they get really annoyed. And the mind is having to work a little bit harder because it has to try to essentially forget about the reflections on the lenses, which you can't really avoid it. You can't avoid or completely eliminate light reflecting off of the surface of a lens. In this case, I don't know if you can tell, but it has a little bit more of like a bluish color to it, right? So all those things combined are definitely going to help to reduce eye strain, eye fatigue, especially if you spend hours at a time in front of a computer screen. So like I said, in no way am I trying to say that this is a bad thing that they have a plus 0.25 magnification on here. I'm just saying that they don't put it on their website, and they don't, market that they have a little bit of a prismatic effect going on there. And they may have a more specific reason why they do it and why they don't market it that way. But I feel like it's important for this to be out there. So I hope that you found this information valuable. I know that it's something that I actually found quite interesting, but hey, I do this for a living too. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below, or please feel free to open up a discussion as to why you think these Gunnar lenses are so great. And once again, I highly encourage you getting a set of these if you spend more than a few hours in front of a digital device. It actually will help your eyes feel like they're not as dry. It's going to actually make them feel more refreshed at the end of the day, and you'll be able to be more productive, I feel. So I want to say right now, and I want to be specific, that I ordered these Gunnar glasses on my own. They did not send it to me. I didn't even reach out to them. Now, would I welcome some of their product? Of course. Please send me a message, Gunnar, if you want to send me anything. But I actually ordered this myself from Amazon just so that I could do this unbiased review of the product. And I think that is great. Should you get it? Hey, if you feel like your eyes are tired at the end of the day, yeah, give it a try. Why not? So if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. I think that there's going to be a lot more videos that you're going to find interesting. So stay tuned.